Hey y'all, this is Treacherous Slayer coming at y'all with another video, and before we get started, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Now tonight, y'all, we're about to get into the Vampire Lestat episode 2, Toledo. Now y'all definitely need to be tuning into this on AMC Plus every Sunday because it is so damn messy. Now, we pick up from where we left off last episode of Lestat's continuing his monologue of his interpretation and perspective of the book Interview with the Vampire. Now, it starts off with Lestat going down memory lane to his origins back in Auvergne, France, back in like 1774, I believe. So we see a younger him and a younger Gabriella as well, which is Gabriella, his mother, that we learned from last episode. Like I said, that flowers in the attic ass scene, talking about some fledgling lover, mother. I'm like, yeah, cut it off. Now, cut that out. So we see his flock of failure as father and brothers, and we already learned that he already has deceased 5 siblings. So I'm like, that ain't no wonder Lestat was so depressed and couldn't express himself because he was just living in misery and no form of motivation at all from his family. Besides his mother, Gabriella, she was his light within the darkness at that time when he was a boy with a stutter, because his brothers always teased him and patronized him for having a stutter and looking at him as less than when they were cowards, writing off the success of the French Revolution that they didn't even partake in. So, gotta love some noodleback ass losers that claim to be men. Now, it also jumps forward a little bit when the people of the town beg for them for help to get rid of the wolves, which we know were werewolves, and Lestat was the only one who was a man enough to do something about it. And around this time, he's about 30 years old, I believe. Still stuck at home and no form of motivation from his father and brothers. So as he goes and bops and flops the wolves, and well, Gabriella comes and tends to his wounds, it explains to him that she likes to creep out on the father and everything and basically fulfill her desires, since her desires aren't being fulfilled with his flock of failure ass father. How she lays with old men, young men, and how for a second she forgets that she even has other sons and someone to claim as a husband. But Lestat chimes in and tells her, well, I'm the exception, right? And obviously we know that's true. So we fast forward to the present where Lestat's waking up from his hangover from all of them damn 109 drugs that Vanilla Latte groupie popped in her mouth last episode. So we see bug naked Daniel taking a shower and Lestat is just coming to, and we hear Lestat's bandmates like Larry, Tough Cookie, Alex, and Salamander just going off and having all these questions about Lestat being a vampire and whether they're going to be next on a shopping block. And Salamander is the first to ask, so hey, is it true that you have the fire gift? And he literally sets the book ablaze. That was so funny. Like, look, not too much. And Tough Cookie patronizes Lestat for a slight second, asking, is black licorice about Lewis's, appendage down there? Like, a Lewis's Laffy Taffy? Like, is this song about you sucking a Louis Twizzler, if y'all catch my drift? And he's like, no, correction. It's about the first person I bought that flopped after me and Louis' reconciliation, if you must know. And they're constantly bombarding him with questions, and he's like, okay, one at a time, please. Like, hey, y'all shut the hell up. Like, I got a hangover. Y'all give me a damn headache. And Alex, being the most sensible one out of the band, is freaking out, like, you kill people, and we're people. And Lestat had to clock his C real quick. He was like, so was I. Like, I was a human before I even came across you. I had a whole life. Look, people aren't just born vampires. We're made them. Simple as that. So don't you try to villainize me when I'm just out here just trying to live the best life I can. And you lucky I'm even sparing you right now. So Alex just crashes out like, look, yeah, I'm not about to deal with this. I'm going to the cops. And I'm like, I don't know why you talk about calling the cops when that's not going to benefit you in the long run. Like, y'all let me know down below. Do you think Alex is literally going to try to get the law involved, knowing that's a big suicide mission, dealing with someone as powerful as Lestat? Especially since he read all their minds and know their deepest, darkest desires to have fortune and fame. He even clocks Alex T talking about, yeah, and that's a rule of mine. I don't sleep with bandmates because I guess Alex and Salamander are full on with each other. And he just clocked that whole T, and Salamander was like, well, damn, like, did you have to expose that to the whole band? Like, that was our tea. I'm like, y'all wanted to know Lestat's tea, and it's already spilled in the book, so what did y'all expect was gonna happen? So he lets Alex go take a breather, and he has to remind Alex, yeah, I know it takes some time to process, but I want to remind you, you go to the cops, not only your life will be in danger, but your brother. So you pick a struggle. Either you're going to stay in this band, or I'm going to have to bop and flop you and your brother and your whole bloodline, whoever I forget about. Whoever knows you along the way, they'll be paying the price as well. So I don't know what he expects to get out of going to the cops, because that's definitely not going to help you going against a 300-something-year-old vampire. Like, let's be serious. And, like, y'all, this episode was key. And after the conversation with the band, I guess Sophie is Gabriella's alias, since that's what Lestat calls her. So people don't really know their backstory, and they keep that a secret between themselves, which I like to see that element being explored in here, like how Lestat and Gabriella has that true unbreakable bond, given they knew each other when they were human before they even became immortal. So that's definitely an interesting plot device to utilize within this season that I'm loving to see explored. The only thing I ain't loving, like I said, is some funky ass flowers in the attic ass references, but I guess, like Lestat says, we're vampires, so that's the best explanation I can get for that one. I'm like, yeah, no, honey, you know, just stick with the 109 pill popping side hoes that they all feed on. So we see throughout the episode that Gabrielle and Lestat are hunting, you know, finance bros in Toledo, and how the Talamasca are lurking in the shadow and watching them basically hunt and study them, which is a constant annoyance to them. And Gabrielle's just confused, like, okay, why do you want to be here out of all places? And Lestat just explains to her, like, this is where he feels he needs to be at the moment, and he's a rock star, and why not ride this wave of fame? And I guess she decides she's going to stay in town to keep an eye on him, since they have some catching up to do. So Christina calls Lestat during he and Gabby's outing and tells her that Louis wants to meet tomorrow. You're like, great, now my husband wants to meet. Yeah, mind you, like, I want to keep saying, yeah, husband, because they're definitely married how they're moving. Like, this is one of the most messy marriages in 2026 I have seen thus far. Like, y'all can't convince me otherwise, because this meeting was a key, y'all. So, it was Louis' petty ass is basically suing Lestat for defamation in terms of thinking that black licorice is about him. And Lestat clocks his tea like, wait, I ain't the one who ran my mouth to a damn mortal and spilled the whole tea about us being vampires. You did that. And Louis rebuttals and said, well, black licorice seemed like a cry for help, so I had to come to town to make sure you were doing okay. And he's like, yeah, bullshit, while you was riding on a Golden Gate Bridge into the sunset with that beige ass pillow on that motorcycle, clinging onto each other. You just gonna forget about that? And he was like, oh, well, no. Well, he was like, exactly. Basically, like, what about me? You just tossed me aside, and I'm the one who made you. I was like, child. This is diabolical. And Louis' new side person, no, like I said, Louis' new fledgling, you know, this nice chocolate drop that's just sitting beside him, like, well, he does own 40% of your shares. So, like, you're gonna have to abide by these terms, or it's gonna be hell to pay. Like, you really don't have no power in this situation. And then Lestat asks straight up, like, wait, are you two busting each other down on the low right now? I can't believe it. And like, and Louis Ruddles, like you ain't got no fledglings around. I'm like, I got plenty of fledglings. I'm like, one thing about Louis is like, y'all, all these vampires, they got hoes in different area codes, y'all. Like, this is crazy. And like he said, well, Christina, just give these two hoes 2 tickets to my show. And Louis just constantly bearing the knife by saying, oh, he's not a fan of your music, so I'll just take 1 ticket. And then the fledgling chime in like, yeah, but I do love the merch though. And then he just storms out, since Louis holding this hidden animosity over him, as if they both didn't lose Claudia. Because that's what this boils down to, I feel like. Since they lost their daughter, they have this unresolved tension that they need to still resolve. Even though they reconciled at the end of season 2, I still feel like there's a lot of bad blood between them that they need to release, you know. So y'all let me know down below in the comments, do you think there's still a possibility of Louis and Lestat ever becoming an item once again, given the exposure that the book is giving them? I don't know. Because that performance was messy as hell, because Alex wasn't there. And like Lestat told Alex, like, I'm giving you some time to think, because you're actually the truly talented one out of the bunch. So you think on that, and you come back to me when you made it back to Common Sense Land, because I will bop and flop you. So we're back to the Toledo performance, where he's performing, I think, Black Licorice and a different song. And you know, he uses his ability to control the minds of the audience as he levitates towards Louis and basically singing the lyrics of the song. I got distracted and pulled up the damn book. And it was basically a revised version of Interview with the Vampire itself. It had highlights, scribbles, sticky notes. Y'all, I was gagged when he tossed it to Louis. And then y'all, why the hell Gabrielle looked up at Louis like, oh, so this is Louis. She was like, interesting. This is the beautiful chocolate man that you created. So why am I just now being introduced to him? And she looked like she wanted to rip Louis apart. So y'all let me know down below. Like, we already know that the beige pillow and Louis got badly injured in the future. So do y'all think Gabrielle is the one that snatched out Louis' leg? Y'all let me know down below, because it looked like she was jealous in that moment. Like, she's truly jealous at that moment. I was like, Alexa, play Brandy and Monica's The Boy Is Mine, because that's exactly how she was looking at Louis. Like, yeah, and she older. I don't know how that's gonna go, y'all. Y'all let me know. So while Daniel is, well, he living his best life, and he see Louis in the audience watching, and he was like, oh crap, I know you're pissed at me from coming to work for Lestat, but this is what I wanted to do. He like, yeah, whatever. Because, you know, obviously Louis is suing Lestat for stealing his like biographer, his photographer, everything. So I'm like, they are playing dirty, y'all. And Daniel straight up asked him like, okay, you want to go out back and settle this in the alley? You want to go throw these hands? And Louis like, sure, because, you know, I want my lick back and you owe me. So even though we don't ever see that, I wonder if they did eventually throw hands. Because after the concert, Gabrielle did ask Lestat, okay, how much did you tell this beautiful chocolate man about our past? Like, do he know who I am? And he tells her, like, no, told him that you died a long time ago from like natural causes, basically. I think childbirth, he said. He's like, okay, because like obviously I think she wants to be a hidden chess piece to potentially harm Louis if he gets too out of line, because I feel like she's going to be a thorn in Louis' side, potentially. I don't know. And one of my favorite moments is when Daniel and Louis meet at this restaurant to, you know, catch up, since Daniel wants to apologize for the book release, and he also explains how the producers wanted to rewrite Interview with the Vampire with a white male lead focus. They didn't want to really meet with Louis. They wanted the story to focus on Lestat and how they won this whole movie deal and everything. And he's like, yeah, well, that checks. I mean, like, we're obviously living that right now. So he's still fuming, and Daniel tells him how his first month as a vampire, he tried to call his daughter and reconcile some kind of relationship, and she keeps hanging up on him. So I guess he's just giving up on that relationship. He tries to explain that he feels Armand's lingering around when he's out here living wild like Lestat. And we already seen in the ending clip of last week's episode that Armand warned Daniel, like, hanging around Lestat is very dangerous to do right now. So what exactly are you thinking to accomplish by supporting his lifestyle? So y'all, things are about to get messy. And Louis goes down memory lane thinking he's seen Claudia in her 20s, and he learned it was a different young woman with different accent, different walk and everything, and he just realized how much he misses her, and he's truly not over losing her. And who would be over that even centuries later? Like, that was evil what the Coven did to Claudia and Louis, like, over some anachronistic ass beliefs. So Daniel again asks him, how does he feel about the book? And Louis straight up like, I don't like how I'm portrayed in it. Like, I'm just this big selfish liar. And now I'm not a fan of the book, basically. But he said, good writing though, but it's just not for me. And then Daniel also chimes in, apologizes, well, like, I'm sorry to ambush you again, but my producers wanted to meet with you. It is damn Mr. James and Rashid ass from the Talamasca. And Louis is like, okay, Daniel, you're going to have to run me my fade because now I got to beat your ass. So we'll talk about this later, and I'll be on site next time I see you, period. So he talks to Mr. James and Rashid, and Mr. James is just begging Louis practically to bop and flop the Fang gang that's in Detroit, since they nearly decapitated Lestat. That was his angle at first. But Louis was definitely not trying to hear that. He like, look, I got a plane to catch. Like, tell me something I don't know. Mr. James just continues to praise him. Well, like, I heard what you did in Dubai. Like, you bopped and flopped 31 people. And then Louis chimed in, well, correction, 32 if you can include Agent Talbot, which was the asshole that was lurking in the finale of season 2 of Interview with the Vampire. Which was hilarious when Mr. James was like, oh, well, we didn't really care about him that much, so you did us a favor. And he basically explains the severity of the situation, that Talamasca is short-handed, and the growth in vampires isn't helping them much in their line of work. So they need his dispatching skills to help bop and flop these lame-ass vampires that call themselves the Fang Gang. And y'all, we get this big bombshell of a reveal that the vampire known as Killer is actually revealed to be Bruce. And he shows Louis a photo of him saying, ain't this the Bruce that attacked and assaulted Claudia all those years back? And we all know that Louis's been fiending for that vengeance of completely obliterating Bruce for what he did to Claudia. Now, that's how the episode wraps up. Wow. Now, when I say Bruce's bitch ass being revealed to be a lie, I'm like, thank you, because I can't not wait to see Louis and potentially Lestat get their vengeance that they've been seeking all these years. Because I already thought Lestat got to Bruce all those years back, because when he was trying to apologize from literally dropping Louis out the damn sky when they got into it over trying to leave New Orleans at that time. So y'all let me know down below, who do you think will be bopping and flopping Bruce's bitch ass? Will it be Louis or Lestat? Because I would love to see them tag team him and literally rip him apart on some Twilight. You know how Edward, Alice, Emmett ripped apart James' ass? I want them to do that so bad to Bruce and just like burn him to a crisp, because he definitely deserves it after the stuff he put Claudia through. I am worried for Louis though, because Gabrielle is just that we seen how dangerous she can get when Lestat was performing that song for her on the piano, and he and her bopped and flopped his flock of failure ass father and brothers, and literally left them on display with intestines dripping out and everything. And the father's grandkids and the brother's kids popped up the next day and just found them in that horrific display of violence. Like, they didn't spare no one in that room. Like, that was crazy. That flashback was insane. So y'all let me know down below what y'all think of Toledo. And I definitely feel like this was one of my favorite episodes thus far, because it revealed a big bombshell of Bruce lame ass being alive, and we get more backstory on Sophie, aka Gabrielle. So I'm definitely enjoying this 10 out of 10, and I cannot wait to see how this season wraps up. So I'm Treacherous Slayer, and I'll see y'all later. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Bye.